Now, we all know the Premier League is all about the Big Six. For us, that has a slightly different meaning, though. Every Monday, 6 questions to put a bow on the Premier League weekend. Rapid-fire responses, sort of.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a quick response.
Hurry up.
Maybe not so rapid. We'll see. First of all, a philosophical question. Arsenal, Craig, are they better than we expected they were going to be this season?
What's the evidence that we should be saying they're better? Because they drew at home to Spurs?
4 games, I guess.
Were hammered by Liverpool. I had Arsenal, not everybody had, in our pre-season predictions. Personally, I had Arsenal to squeeze into the top 4. And I don't see any reason to change that when I've seen the rest. And I don't see any reason why I think it's going to be better for them. They're what I thought going forward. They'll be quite exciting at times. But they're open and they have players who will make bad decisions in the bigger games. So, no, they're exactly where I thought they were.
I don't think you had them in the top 4, Stevie.
I didn't, no.
No.
Well, because they can't defend, and they showed against Spurs they couldn't defend. Had Spurs been better in the final third, they could have had, what, 6? So that tells you that there's a huge problem. Yes, they were the better side, I thought, against Spurs, but that's one game. There's an awful lot of games to go.
So do Chelsea and Man United get in ahead of Arsenal into that top 4?
I couldn't tell you between those sides you've mentioned who's better, because every one of them seems to have the same problems.
Right.
They all look good going forward, but can't defend. Every single one of them is in the same predicament right now.
Well, I think the thing is Arsenal. The one reason is Arsenal for me, and they are where they are, is because I think they've got a little bit extra in the forward department. Chelsea haven't got the options that they had, and United are, I think, are quite lightweight in that position. So I think Arsenal are exactly as what it said on the tin before the season started.
Frank, I know you were a big fan of Pepe's signing. So are Arsenal exceeding expectations so far?
Well, I think it's better than I thought at first, during the preseason. But as Stevie said, defensively, like the other teams, Chelsea, Tottenham and Manchester United, they're pretty poor. I mean, they can attack. They have a great side. I think Pepe is going to adjust very soon. He's running a lot. He's working hard, but he's making the wrong choices right now. But he's gonna go and cope with the English football very soon, and I think in a good way. But defensively, this team are still many problems that they have to resolve, and that's why I don't think they're going to approach in any ways Manchester City and Liverpool, but they will fight for the third rank place, between Tottenham, Chelsea and Manchester United.
Continuing our philosophical questions, Craig, a whole 2 points below Arsenal lie Manchester United. Are they worse than we expected at the start of the season?
No, again, they're exactly what I thought they were going to be, which is pretty bang average by the standards of that football club in recent historical results and success. And, having sold most of having sold Lukaku, having let Sanchez go, although he wasn't playing, the lightweight up front, look at the midfield, McTominay, Pogba, you got Pereira coming in, you got, Lingard, Martial. No, they're exactly where I thought they were going to be, and I think it's going to be if they finish 6, that's kind of where they are.
2 points from the last 9 against Wolves, Palace and Southampton, Stevie.
Yeah, they're worse than I thought they would be. I had them actually finishing 4th.
Well, they might do.
Well, they might do, but it might be because of the rest of them. Listen, the one thing I said was that because of Wan-Bissaka and Maguire, they would be better defensively. Well, they've lost 2-1 at home, and then they lose a goal at the weekend again to drop points. So that hasn't quite been as solid as we thought. And going forward, on paper, they've got quality, but they just haven't produced it.
Let's move on to the English captain, as you'd like to remind us, Craig. He is the English captain. Harry Kane, is he a diver?
Well, he's dived twice. In my opinion, he's dived twice in the last 2 weeks. So
very similar incidents, weren't they? Very similar.
Well, yeah, but you can say, well, he's drawn contact and he's clever, but honestly, we can't. Well, you can do what you want. You can have your own opinion, but I'm not going to give it a give it a swerve because he's the darling of the English media and the English captain. He's thrown himself to the ground the last 2 weeks. If that was Johnny Foreigner years ago, as we were all reminded of, then that's we don't want that kind of thing in the English and the British game. We don't do that. Well, you do. He does.
There are different kinds of divers. There's your daft, blatant people who just throw themselves, arms in the air, legs splayed wide.
Yeah.
And then there's Harry Kane, who's trying to be clever about it. He's trying to initiate contact. And what he's done the last couple of weeks is he's got it wrong. He's got the timing wrong. And actually, the one against Arsenal, if he hadn't done it properly, it's called professionalism. You get your body in front of the opposition, you take the hit, and then you go down. He got it the wrong way round.
Just went down
he was on his way down as he got hit.
He didn't quite cheat properly.
Correct. But you can nudge that towards professionalism that you're winning a penalty, but not if you go down.
The English captain's a diver. There you go. That's all you need to know.
That's the rapid fire. That's the rapid fire response we were looking for. Moving on, Frank. Manchester City, everything going swimmingly for them so far, except Laporte. They're going to be without their key central defender. How big a blow is that for the defending champions?
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem, you know. Even if the way they play, meaning with a big pressure when they lose the ball, they play high on the field, allow them to not really defend, but mainly think about how to attack and how to finish their actions. So having two centre halves is a little bit like Barcelona, where it's not very important to have good defenders, but you have to have good players who know how to play football. It's why I think that even if Laporte is not there and Stones is still injured, maybe Fernandinho can play and be a centre half while Laporte is injured and Stones too. So otherwise maybe you can put Walker as well as a centre half, because he knows how to defend, but he knows also how to play with the football. So it's not really a problem in a way that mainly for the Premier League, Manchester City will have the possession of the ball for like 75-80% of the game.
He has been their most dependable centre-back.
And he just got called up for France for the first time in his mid-20s. I don't think it's a major problem for them short-term because, OK, the Champions League will be a little tougher, but they're going to batter like Liverpool. They're going to batter most teams in the Premier League, particularly at home. Frank mentioned Kyle Walker. Fernandinho has been injured this season. He could do what he did last year. There was times last year where they played a back three and a back four within the same game, with Fernandinho stepping in and stepping out. But personnel-wise, it's a blow. Results-wise, I don't think it'll be a blow.
Moving on, Stevie, to Liverpool. 12 points out of 12, but a lot has been made out of Sadio Mane and Mo Salah and the little tete-a-tete.
I don't understand how everybody's getting carried away with this. This is something that...
Well, people are.
Yeah, but
sure.
This is something that happens in football teams, you know. And one of the reasons it happens is because of the desire that some players have. And when you get a goal taken away from you, that's why Mane snapped.
Right.
But it's not anything new. It just tells you that they actually care. And I don't understand. I'm listening to people saying that the front three now, this could be the last season they're together because they're arguing and they're doing this and doing that. I mean, it's complete and utter nonsense. 10 minutes after that game, that would have been sorted out. Yeah. Because as I said, it's not the first time it's ever happened.
And if you've got good management, it'll be sorted out, and Liverpool have got good management. Stevie's right. This has been going on amongst top players for years. I mean, if you think this is a problem, you don't understand the dynamic within a football club, a football team, or a player's mentality. Because he was absolutely raging that Salah had the head down thinking about himself. So you have it out rather than let it fester. Right. Letting it fester's worse, actually, than having it out. So this is a storm in a teacup.
Thought you might say that. Finally, can Leicester City surprise everyone? Some people thought they might break into the top six, the big six. But can they do actually even better than that? Can they actually finish top four?
Well, there's been some talk of top four. Personally, my own personal opinion is that they're heavily reliant on Vardy for the goals, which is fine, but they've got a good balance to the team. I think if they get in the top six, that would be a great season. I don't think they will get in the top four. But I think they've got a chance of getting in the top six.
I think they've got a chance of getting in the top four. I mean, they are what
because
they
of the
are.
weakness of the big boys.
Well, because they will score goals and,
they've got a chance.
they're solid defensively through the middle and at the back.
Yeah.
And we've just been talking about all the so-called teams that are going to be in the top 4 or 6. How that they can go forward, but defensively they're in absolute shambles. So, listen, if Leicester City can win the Premier League, why can't they finish in the top 4?
Yeah.